Following breaking news right now from the Capitol, about 30 minutes ago, the Senate gave final approval to the juvenile justice bill.
And right now we are counting down to the end of the legislative session. You can see it right there in the corner of your screen. Less than 6 hours left. Lawmakers also passed a budget which includes historic tax cuts.
Channel 3 chief political reporter Susan Raff is live right now at the state Capitol with what else lawmakers are trying to accomplish ahead of the deadline. Susan.
Mark, definitely some new developments just moments ago. The Senate gave final approval to a bill that does a lot when it comes to juvenile justice. The House has already passed it. This was a controversial issue. And yes, it was a lot to take up, certainly in the final hours of the session, but lawmakers were under pressure to do something. Legislative sessions are filled with bills and, of course, the state budget. This year, the budget was taken up in the final days, but it has passed. In fact, in 2015, the budget was rolled out on the very last day. This year's budget will be remembered. Unlike previous years when Connecticut has faced huge deficit, the state has a cash windfall. The budget includes $600 million in tax cuts.
There's always the chance that things go sideways, and I don't think they have between the two parties. We've got a lot of work done despite some flare-ups.
But in these final hours, a few changes are being made to the budget. There's a shortage of money in the car tax to reimburse 75 cities and towns. The House Speaker says it's being fixed. Other than that,
it's been a productive session and very happy with how things turned out.
But Republicans don't see it that way. They wanted more tax cuts, given the state's cash windfall.
We had the ability to give out about $1.5 billion tax relief to residents at a time when we're seeing inflation.
And they wanted more in the juvenile justice bill, which has passed the House and is now being debated in the Senate in these final hours.
And I love being here.
And on this final day, a farewell from lawmakers not seeking re-election. Around 30 lawmakers are leaving. It may very well be the most ever at one time.
I do think COVID played a role. I've had people tell me this in my private life who work. And I didn't sign up for this. It's different than what it was. And it was a long couple of years.
But lawmakers did vote to give themselves a pay raise this legislative session with a starting base salary of $40,000. The current base salary is $28,000. What can we expect next year? Well, the House Speaker said today he would like more meetings in person, but he said there is definitely a place for virtual hearings as well. And speaking of tradition, something is going to change. Well, at least for tonight. It is usual custom that the governor addresses the legislature at midnight, but this year both parties in both chambers say they are exhausted and they are anxious to go home. We are live at the state capitol. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.